everybody, welcome to the show here on Shaw TV. My name is Matt Carter. Welcome to your television set and welcome to us for the next 1 hour for the show. It's episode number 85, a number made famous by NHLer Peter Klima. I think Todd Jones still has his hockey card somewhere beneath his pillow. All right, Todd's screen. All right, a musical guest here today. We have a rapper on set. Rapper's Mr. Alexander Reyes. He's a hip-hop artist from Vancouver Island who's been rapping since the age of 9. I'm still not even tying my own shoelaces up yet. And 10 years later, he's doing all sorts of tons of performances, but he's also doing some incredible international aid work, which is very, very cool. We're going to see how that actually goes and focuses on his lyrics as well later on this hour. And of course, some tunes also. Alexander, actually, is also performing in Nanaimo as part of Black History Month, which is also the theme of a number of segments we have on today's episode. In fact, a number of events recognizing Black History Month we put on by the Nanaimo African Heritage Society. And we actually have a new host. Yeah, Charlotte, come over here. We've got Bisala, a new host. Hooray! Come on, round of applause. Come on. Thank you very much. Awesome. Love getting new volunteers and hosts here on the show. Anyways, Bisala is going to be talking, see what the Society is doing with Society founder and President Shalema Gant and Society member Paul Wynn. How's it going there, Raymond? He's doing all right. All right, on the serious side of things, actually, depression, very real. Stress, anxiety, difficulties involving change, also very, very real. And as we all know from popular music, that there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. We're actually going to still try a way to beat the blues. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to find out. It's actually to sit down with professionals and your peers to work through it. Michael Barron's is going to sit down and talk about just that with experienced counselor Stephanie Peter. Not to be confused with Senator Palpatine, who's just not friendly all whatsoever. And actually, speaking of using the Force, we're going to have Michael Barron's back out, bring the Razzle Dazzle. I'm getting booed already. Bring his Razzle Dazzle to the show. That's part of his regular Magic Moments with Michael segment. Michael, yeah, big round of applause for Michael. Come on. And you may actually notice on screen now, Michael's been really working out, so we might change the name of the segment to Barons of Beef. Barons of Beef. All right, whoo! All right, and keeping on with the food segment here, we actually have a very cool video feature on a fundraising call to action by Loaves and Fishes. It's an organization here in Nanaimo that does great work in terms of collecting and distributing food to those in town less fortunate. However, they actually are really looking to get some extra space in order to store more food donations as well as to produce their food packages. Again, in the video, you're going to find out how you can do your best to help. We also have a video feature as well, an interview regarding the Reflect for Ryan campaign. Now, this is an effort to turn a very tragic fatal accident in Cedar into a campaign that gives driver and pedestrian awareness. So building on the memory of Ryan Wallace Terry, and here to talk about the campaign is coordinator Jenny Jones and Ryan's mother, Carol Wallace Terry. And a big thank you to Louis Beck for putting this segment together for us. Turning our attention back to Black History Month, Carolee McDowell, who's host of a very excellent jazz show on CHOI 101.7 called Rhythm and Ing. She's going to tell us about a remarkable tale about Eleanor Collins, who's a black jazz singer born in Edmonton, began singing on the radio back in the 30s and 40s, became the first black artist in North America to host a television series, and is still performing today. Very, very cool stuff. So again, stay tuned. Very excited to find out more about this real Canadian treasure. And speaking about real Canadian treasure, of course, the treasure of our country is the Francophone community. And so Joanne is going to kick things off with a look at Nanaimo's bilingual celebration of Francophone culture and more. It's the Maple Sugar Festival. So tap that TV, mes amis, and get ready. It's the show right here on Shaw TV.
Bonjour tout le monde. Yes, indeed, we're here to talk about the Maple Sugar Festival du Sucre d'Érable. With me is my friend and colleague, Catherine Williams, the Executive Director of l'Association des Francophones de Nanaimo. And we're going to talk about partying, eating great food, and having a good time. And this year, our theme is We Are Family. Isn't that right, Catherine?
We are, and it is, yes. It's very nice to be here. Thank you, Joanne.
Oh, you're welcome.
So our theme, We Are Family, and we're celebrating our family, which it means we're actually celebrating everyone because we consider every participant of the Maple Sugar Festival a big part of our big family, toffee family. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. And like we say in French, on y va en famille. We're all going there as a family. We're all going to get together and just enjoy all the famous French-Canadian food and dance to folkloric music, etc. And we're going to give people some photographic evidence of this because there's a great video about the festival.
Wonderful.
So let's talk about the food.
Absolutely. We're going to enjoy some wonderful, authentic French-Canadian food. We'll have tourtière, which is a meat pie, and ragout, which is a meat stew. We'll also be offering sugar pie for dessert, and if that isn't enough, young or old, you'll enjoy our tir sur la neige.
And tir sur la neige, for those of you who are not quite knowledgeable of what that means, is toffee on snow. It is decadent and it is expected at the festival. Just like I think there's some other famous meal that's really expected there, starting perhaps with the letter P.
Pancakes?
Poutine. So the poutine, everybody obviously is a big fan of the poutine.
That'll be outside in the festival. And we'll also have a mini donut truck selling maple flavored donuts.
Oh, well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity to indulge both your sweet tooth and your savory tooth.
Absolutely.
And then when you feel like you've been stacking up the calories there, you might want to do something like dance along to all this great music. Tell us about the musicians this year.
Well, this year we have a country singer doing a festival debut. Her name is Manon Bédard. She is from the province of Quebec. You've heard of her, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she sings in both languages, French and English, and she also is an amazing yodeler.
Okay, so yodeling will get you up foot stomping and dancing and having a good time for sure. And I hear that there's a great artist that's happening on the Saturday night of the festival, which by the way is February 13 to 15. And her name is Charlotte Diamond. She's quite a popular children's entertainer.
Yes, Valentine's Day we will be having a dance for the children, and we will have Charlotte Diamond, a children's entertainer from Vancouver, who will should be a wonderful show for all ages. She's been around since we were little kids, so yeah.
So that's going to be something like even people can revisit having seen her in the past.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. So again, the family will be able to go, whether they're children, individuals, whatever, however you define family, can go.
You can definitely join us, and we'll have a wonderful time.
Okay, and along the lines of other features that are available, I know I enjoy retail therapy. I know there's a great market happening again this year.
We do have a variety of vendors. We have many different products to sell. We try to please everybody, so you'll find jewelry, you'll find knits, sweets, sauces.
Okay, so it's a chance to buy some nice things for your sweetheart on Valentine's on the Saturday.
It would be a wonderful time to do so, yes.
Yes. So in all, it's a great chance to dance, eat, get together with family, shop, celebrate the francophone culture, the maple sugar shack, the traditions of la cabane à sucre.
That's right, yeah. We hope to see many people there from the community, and we also hope to see everybody from outside of Vancouver Island as well.
Yes, yes, we send invitations out to everybody.
We do.
And we're so honored by all the volunteers that we have every year. We've had volunteers that have grown up literally with the festival coming back every year.
Volunteers that have grown up with the festival and participants that have grown up with the festival.
Yeah, yeah. So it's again like another big family getting together every year to enjoy.
Yes,
all
and
the
we also have a school program.
Okay.
So there's a 3-day school program. We have about 10 schools that will be participating before the festival actually opens to the public.
So the kids get a chance to, from the French immersion schools and the Francophone schools, etc., get a chance to get together and listen to
Take
French
part in some of the culture. Yes.
That's wonderful. I myself am a big fan. Full disclosure time, I've been involved with the festival for a number of years and look forward to it every year. It's a great tradition in Nanaimo. Lots of people come every year, as we mentioned, from far and wide and up and down the island. So it's going to be another great time this year at the Maple Sugar Festival du Sucre d'Érable.
It will be, and we invite everybody.
Okay, well, now I would like to talk about somebody, throw to someone else who's going to talk about something happening in February. And Bisala, the new Shaw TV host, is going to be talking about Black History Month in February.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Joanne. February is Black History Month and it's celebrated worldwide, except for the UK where it's celebrated in October. But anyway, here in Nanaimo, our guest Shalima Gant founded the Nanaimo African Heritage Society to celebrate Black History Month right here in Nanaimo. And joining her today is Paul Wynne, a Canadian human rights activist and a retired lawyer who sat on the Human Rights Tribunal in the province, and he's also a journalist, and he wrote and hosted a nationally broadcast weekly TV show with the CBC, and he was also the past president of the Black Historical and Cultural Society of British Columbia. Welcome to the show, Shalima and Paul. Now, what's the story behind Black History Month, and why is it important to carry on with this tradition?
Well, maybe I could answer that. And Black History Month began actually as a week in 1926. In February, it started in February because February the 12th was Abraham Lincoln's birthday, and February the 14th was Frederick Douglass's birthday. It was a very big black abolitionist at the time. And Carter Woodson thought that it was important to have an event that celebrated black accomplishment because it lived in a society where the blacks were marginalized, thought to be really unproductive, unintelligent, and unimportant. And so he thought it was important to have something that would bring that about in a different light.
Okay, so now Nanaimo has its Black Society chapter called the Nanaimo Heritage Society. What's its purpose and how does it fit into Nanaimo?
Well, I think that it fits into Nanaimo because it's sort of following with what Woodson started back in 1926. It's to give an image of the impression and the visibility of black people that live in Nanaimo and in fact on Vancouver Island as well. And it has a history because the black people came to Vancouver Island in 1858. Many of them settled ultimately in the Nanaimo area, and so they've been around for a long time, and a lot of people don't know that. And so Black History Month brings that back, for people to get a little more information about.
Okay, let's bring this close to home quickly. You moved to Nanaimo 2 years ago. Why did you decide to join the Black History Society, and what are your thoughts about its services?
Well, I joined the society because I'm black. That was one thing. I've always had an interest in black history, and it was a natural fit for me. I thought maybe I might be able to, help with some of the past experiences I've had and, involvement in Black History societies from the East Coast to the West Coast. So that it was information I could bring and hopefully help the society grow and, expand.
Yeah. Okay, so does the society need new members? Quickly?
Every society always needs new members.
So out of all the societies in town, why should people join the Nanaimo African Heritage Society, and how can they be of service?
Well, from my point of view, it's a lot of great people. You have some good times, you have some good parties, and some good cultural events. And then, I don't know, Ganesh Shalima, she's been with it for a long time.
Okay, Shalima, I think I'll throw this question to you. It's Black History Month in February. What events do you have planned for the whole month?
Well, we have a lot of exciting things, as we usually have. One of our main exciting events is our gospel concert, and we do that at the Brecken Church each year. And this year our theme is jazz and gospel. And then we move on, and one thing we threw in this year is a roundtable discussion so that people can tune in and find out more about the history history, more about what the society stands for in the community. So we invite people to look out for that one. We move right on. We're really focusing on youth this year. That is very, very important. We have young Alexander that is here today, his music. He will be hosted on the 20th. He's also hosting a fun event for the young people.
Okay.
So, but look on our website and get all the information. We can't give you all, but we have things right on down to the 28th of February. So please stay tuned for all the exciting events that we have. And each year we try to make sure that we invite the whole community to come out and celebrate Black History with us.
Thank you so much, Shalima and Paul,
you for
for joining
having
us on the show. And now we're going to throw things over to our musical guest, Alexander Reyes.
How's everybody doing today? My name is Alexander Reyes, and I'm going to start this performance by shouting out all the women all around the world. Without you, I wouldn't be here, and some of my best friends wouldn't either. So, today we're going to do it right, and we're going to make people happy with it. Let's smile. Met this girl at the mall, let her meet all my friends, we were hitting it up. There's no need to pretend, even spent the day together enjoying the hot weather. Looked her in the eyes and told her there's no one better, but she didn't believe me. Guess she gets that a lot. Then I told her I'm a rapper, I don't say that too much. Fell in love by your touch, was as faded as luck. Swear we always had fun, yeah, helped me find love. Made a song just to thank you for all the times that it's too bad that we broke it off. Every time I think about it, makes me soft. One day maybe, baby, I'll see you again. Until then, you can find me on the same bench. You know the place where we first met? Sit down and hear the sound of our first conversation. Our first kiss, I've been having revelations. Feels so good when you say my name. Didn't even need no game. Cause me and you, we were meant to be. Swear I never leave your side. The girl of my dreams. Fight for your love, you know I give up. Favorite girl, all colors all around the. This girl made me run circles round her. Grew up together, but I didn't really know her before we started talking. I was in the 12th grade. Now graduated, trying to find a place to stay. That's a real relationship. Give her all of my love, plus more. She's my babe. All I need is you around. Is that okay? So don't bother with what the mothers got to say. That's just we've been through this before. You're the only one I see. Need you to trust me. That's all I ask for. When you need something, I would turn to respect. Even give you half my heart or what's left in my chest. Preaching words of love, you're the one for me. Swear every time we're together, it's destiny. Even seen your face before because she's the girl of my dreams. If you don't know, I'm taking her home with me. Feels so good when you say my name. Didn't even need no game. Cause me and you, we were meant to be. Swear I never leave your side. The girl of my dreams. Fight for your love, you know give up. Okay, favorite girls. All girls all around the world. I love y'all.
All right, hey, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. And we're back here on the show. You know, it's the middle of winter, and I don't know about you, but myself, I get a little bummed out, a little gloomy at this time of year. And today I have a very, very special guest. Her name is Stephanie Peters. Stephanie Peters, sorry. And she's running a group that's called Beating the Blues. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Thanks so much, Michael. I'm really glad to be here.
Oh, well, that's great. So you're running this group, and it basically revolves around depression.
Is
that correct?
That's right, yes. I've worked in Parksville as a clinical counselor, and I've found that there really weren't specific services for people with depression, especially group services. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now, depression itself, is it a fairly common thing?
It is. I think it's really underestimated in the world today. The World Health Organization ranks it as being the #1 cause of disability worldwide, and that often takes people by surprise.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a surprise, to be honest.
Yes.
I'm surprised at that. And so there must be some typical symptoms of depression, and for ways to people to find out that they actually have depression. What might some of those symptoms be? What are common symptoms?
Well, thanks for asking, because I think depression is an illness that kind of creeps up on people. It starts with symptoms that are possibly hard to recognize. One of the first to show up is often fatigue. People will feel low levels of energy. They won't have that bounce in their step that they've traditionally had. They find themselves doing less, taking part in fewer activities, maybe withdrawing from people and events and activities that they typically would engage in. You'll notice mood changes. People will become more frustrated more easily. They'll become, moods will go up and down. They might have anxious patches. They might have sad patches, and they might just feel really numb. So the symptoms will get worse over time, and often at that point, when things become really difficult to attend work or to attend family gatherings, then people will actually take steps and go talk to their doctor or talk to a counselor.
Yeah, so this is something that can be a lot more severe than just feeling a little down due to weather, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I know myself, this time of year, I do get down a little bit. And do you find that too, that it's a seasonal thing? Do you find it more common or more severe in the winter months?
For certain, and that's why I offer the group in the fall and in the winter, but not during the summer. I find that, perhaps it's not getting a lot of sunlight, not getting vitamin D, that, we have longer days in the summer, shorter, colder, and darker days for certain here on the wet coast, so yeah.
Yeah, so now normally, I always thought that treatment for something like this would be a one-on-one thing, but this is a group.
That's right.
Which is rather interesting. What are the benefits to having a group?
I think because isolation is such a part, or it can be such a part for depression, just going into a room with other people is therapeutic all on its own. So connecting with people, getting to know them, getting to trust them, feeling good in that environment is therapeutic. But also hearing that other people are going through something similar to what you're experiencing.
And you're not going through it alone. Yeah.
And starting to recognize that it actually is a disease, because people blame themselves for these symptoms. They think there's something wrong with them, and unlike, say, a broken leg or a surgical scar, it's easier to get confused and to think this is something that is about me personally.
Wow. So this is a group. There must be like, how large is a group?
It's a small group, actually. I run it with 10 people, and that's because I like to give lots of time for people to really connect and to talk and to share. We run it once a week for 2 hours for 10 weeks, and each week we focus on a different topic. So I share some strategies that I've learned as a counselor, and people share, stories from their lives, experiences they're having, ways that they use to cope, and it's really beneficial. It's a lot of cross-pollination.
Oh, yeah. That sounds great. That sounds great. And this starts on February 19th.
That's right.
It runs for 10 weeks.
That's right.
And it's in Parksville. And this is at your office, the Stephanie Peter Counseling Office in Parksville, and that's at the Seaview Center.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was so informative, and I hope that some of the viewers out there will come and seek you out, because I'm more than certain that there are a lot of people out there that do need a little bit of help from time to a time. So I want to thank you very, very much for being on the show. And now it's time for me to send it off to Matt with our musical guest.
All right, thank you very, very much, Michael, and thank you, Stephanie, for being here as well. Again, very important conversation we having, so thank you guys so much for putting that segment together. All right, so now it's time to turn our focus towards our musical guest. Always excited to have a hip-hop artist on the show.
Of course,
and actually, this isn't your first time on Shaw. I've noticed you actually did a little PSA.
Just a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, yeah, talking about Black teacher and pioneer Emily Stark, but now we've got you here on the show. Alexander, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm very excited, trust me.
Yes, again, well, the music's sounding great. Stoked for more songs later on. Okay. And again, so rapping, again, reading your bio, you started at the age of 9. When I was 9, my biggest accomplishment was not droogling on Lego. So what was it that actually, Raymond knows what I'm talking about. So what was it that got you to start write lyrics when you're only 9 years old? Listening to other songs, or what was it?
I'll tell you straight up. It's all about family, and it's about the people around you. My sister was a singer before I even thought of singing.
Oh, nice.
Before I even started rapping. She's been my biggest idol, my sister. And I gotta thank her for everything that I've done. Since 9 years old, my dad bought me a USB microphone, and I recorded right next to him a speaker, right? So since then, I gotta thank my sister, for sure.
What does your sister think about your songs?
She loves them. She's at every single concert.
Nice.
For sure.
So actually, speaking of concerts, so again, you've been playing, performing quite a bit. I've noticed over like 150 concerts and performances over the last little while. Just give us right now some of the more memorable ones that you may have had.
Oh, a great concert was in Ottawa. I performed there with Africa Boombata, who actually started hip-hop.
Exactly.
And you know, Big Daddy Kane also, he was a great person in my life that I spoke to while performing there. Another great performance was in Africa. I performed in Tanzania, and the look on the people's faces was like, what's this white guy doing here? Because I'm light-skinned, right? But I'm not really. It's all about getting to know people and talking to them and finding out where they're from. So that's my most memorable concert, because I learned that lesson in my life.
That's very cool. So let's speak a little bit about those travels, because then you've been to Africa and Central America, correct? Not only performing, but doing some aid work. Tell us about what brought you down there and what sort of projects you got involved in.
Canada World Youth. Now, this is a youth initiative run by youth to become leaders. They sent me to Nicaragua, that's Central America, and there we learned how to paint, we learned how to talk to youth, and really get involved in their life. Now, after that, I came back here to Nanaimo and started volunteering, and then I went to Tanzania after. So it's a great journey, and it's really taught me more about myself, because I've learned these lessons that has created the man who's standing here today.
Very cool. What would you say to other youth out there that might be thinking of something like this?
I'll say go for it. Because honestly, if I didn't go for it, I'd be in the same place I was before, right? I'd be a different person. But I went for my dream, and it's coming true right in front of my eyes. And I have to thank everybody around me, because I'm no different than you. So thank you.
Nice. So what about you do all this traveling, right? You meet people, other cultures. How is that sort of reflected back on Vancouver Island? What have you learned about here since those trips?
You know, I've learned that our community also has stuff going on in our own backyards. I'm gonna use that metaphor. There's stuff going on in our own backyards. And that means even if I'm in Tanzania and they're volunteering in their community, it's about volunteering in your community and building it up. That's what I've learned about Vancouver Island.
Nice. Well, I mean, so you've done traveling, you've been doing music now for 10 years. A great quote you posted on Facebook, your Facebook page. If you want something you've never had, then you've got to do something you've never done.
This is the truth.
So what is it this year you're going to do that you've never done?
What am I going to do this year? This year I'm going to tell the people who I am. I'm going to tell them that I'm ready and I'm here. And this is nothing to undermine. I am here and I'm ready to show you that I'm exactly like you and you can do it too.
Beautiful stuff. I mean, great confidence, great skill with the songs. We got to wrap this up and get back to another song here. But first off, you have a couple performances coming up, partly with the Nanaimo African Heritage Society.
Yes, I'll be performing at the Port Theatre as well. I will be performing many other events. And you can check this out on my Facebook page, which all you got to do is search Alexander Reyes. Simple as that.
Alexander Reyes, perfect, awesome. As well, you can also check out the Heritage Society website, Nanaimo African HeritageSociety.com for more details about that. Let's go into another song now, All Around the World. What's this song about?
This song is about my journeys to Africa, my journeys to Central America, and my journey back home, because it's been a journey being here as well, having to adjust back. So thank you, and I'm here, my friend.
Great stuff. Well, great to have you here again. Alexander Reyes, All Around the World on the show, right here on Shaw TV. Let's do it up.
How are y'all doing today? You know, it's not about being different. It's about being you. There's a lot of people around this world. We just need to come together. Turned 18, first thing had to leave. Took a flight across seas just to see what it means to be a global citizen and live on my own. Learning different languages and calling mama back home. Meeting new people, all these numbers in my phone. I don't know what to do with them, but I'll never be alone. Looking out the window, thinking how much I grew from a kid in high school to fit in inside of these shoes. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's better than laying down being lazy. Motivated, but used to be highly hated. Now the same ones that were talking and telling me that I'll make it. Gotta thank God providing me with insight tonight. I'm thinking about life, doing all that I can, providing all for the fam. And if I gotta thank someone, then I'm thanking the fam. I'm all around the world these days. Put your hands up if you feel this way. Africa to Canada, I'm gone. Always on the move and never home. In the sky, flying different places. New day, meeting different faces. Learning things from different races. Long way from in my basement. I'm all around the world these days. Flying in this plane got me feeling this way. If I happen to be late, then the limo will. Gotta feed my family, so I'm stacking up the plate. Went from laying on the couch to looking at a house at the age of 18. All these sins that I seen made me into a man. Parents don't understand, but always gave me support. I've been traveling the world, all these girls loving my curls, but it's nothing cause I got one at home. Didn't do this on my own, gotta thank my family for everything that's happening. I'm grown, and I'm feeling like on one. Why? Everything I got, I did. Breakfast on the islands, thank God for my life and all this. I'm all around the world these days. Put your hands up if you feel this way. Africa to Canada, I'm gone. Always on the move and never home. In the sky, flying different places. New day, meeting different faces. Learning things from different races. Long way from in my basement. Like I said, you have to appreciate what you have and where you came from. I'ma tell you this, I went from the mountains of Nicaragua all the way to the ponds in Africa. And the one thing that I learned, everybody is equal. Everybody has a chance. And you have to look into yourself to find that chance. Realize, please, be with me when I say this. You can never give up because you never know what's right in front of you. My name is Alexander Reyes, and you can do it too. Just bob your head with me now. Yeah, that's how we do it.
All right, my man. Awesome. Alexander Reyes, great stuff as well. Again, thank you so much for being here. I know we got some more songs here coming up a bit later on, so again, awesome. Looking forward
I'm waiting for that. I'm happy, my friend.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Yes, man. All right, more Alexander Reyes, all around the world, wonderful stuff. And hey, speaking of wonderful stuff, you are a wonderful person for sticking around and watching the show right here on Shaw TV. We're about halfway through the program. So far, we've learned about the excellent and annual Maple Sugar Festival, bilingual celebration of all things Francophone, and of course, a great excuse to have pancakes or crepes. What do you think, Charlotte? Crepes? Yeah, all right, from crepes. All right, Todd says too. We've also learned about some of the happenings in Nanaimo regarding Black History Month. We also talked, Todd's being funny, talked with Councillor Stephanie Peter about beating the Blues, and of course I'm not talking about the St. Louis hockey team. Go Canucks go. And we've also met our musical guest, just said, Alexander Reyes, who does some more lyrics to drop for us. Looking forward to that. Now coming up in a little bit, so you'll be wowed, of course, by our magic moment with Michael Behrens. I'll also introduce you to the Reflect for Ryan campaign. And just a quick note on that, again, it's one of the most amazing triumphs of the human spirit is when you can take a tragedy and with strength turn that into something that's very positive for individuals and the community. So wonderful stuff. You really want to get to know about this for sure. As well, I'll be sitting down with our radio host Caroline McDowell, who's going to tell us about a inspirational and pioneering Canadian jazz vocalist and TV host. But as for right now, we're going to run a video here in a moment. We're going to look into an important fundraising campaign going on with Loaves and Fishes. And again, this is an organization here in Nanaimo that collects food and then creates package and distributes it to those less fortunate here in Nanaimo. Now, what they can't do a good job of, unfortunately, right now is storing a lot of donations. In fact, to the point where they're almost getting too many donations. They need storage space to keep food fresh. And as well, with the limited space they have now, putting all these food packages together can be quite awkward. So we've got a video here to tell you the tale. And I also want to mention, too, this was put together in part with one of our amazing Shaw TV volunteers, Ronan, who's here today. Ronan's over there, I believe. Big shout out. Thanks, Ronan. Great stuff, and again, showing what some of the great Shaw TV volunteers can do. He and his crew did a great job, so check it out. Here's how you can help out Loaves and Fishes. Scotty, Todd, Dax, roll that tape.
The first 16 years of any life are amazing. Many changes happen and many challenges come up. Usually we figure those challenges out. But the most amazing thing is the incredible amount of growth. And that is certainly the case here. 16 years ago, this place was born, created to help a community in need. The early years were difficult at times, but the biggest challenge is happening now. It's a challenge created by successful partnerships. We can provide so much more to our clients, but we need much more room to do that work. That's why we need your help. Fittingly, the birth took place in a rescue station. These aren't coal miners, but they know darkness and struggle, and they need a bit of temporary rescue from hunger. They come to us throughout the week for relief and respect, and they are far from alone. In our city, 1 in 13 people make use of loaves and fishes, many of them children. And so we have grown enormously, not only in numbers, but more importantly in the level of service we are able to provide. Nanaimo's Loaves and Fishes food bank now includes 10 depots around the city, as well as a wide-ranging food delivery system. We've also joined forces with almost 36 other agencies. There's no sibling rivalry here. The work is too important, the need too great. The good news is there's plenty of food to go around, food that otherwise would go into the garbage. We've turned food retailers into partners with our Food for You program. They no longer have to find ways to dispose of millions of dollars worth of food every year that is close to the best before date. And with that contribution, we can offer far better nutrition to our clients. Of course, that kind of growth means doing more work, lots more work for an ever-growing army of bright-eyed volunteers. 480 people give their time and energy every month to the efforts of Loaves and Fishes. They've helped us turn a place that used to provide just packaged, non-perishable food into a complete menu for a healthier diet. Everything from eggs to fruits and vegetables and milk. We're thrilled, but it's eating up a lot more of what was already a very confined space. In these closed quarters, we are continually moving 2 or 3 things to get at the one we need, trying not to run down a volunteer or a client while we're at it.
Okay, thank you. See you.
Bye-bye.
Keeping a roof over the head of this teenage prodigy has become a real struggle. And if he's to reach his full potential, he needs space, which is where you come in.
We're convinced that this place is the answer. It's just down the street, so we stay in the neighborhood where our team got started and made so many friends. It's got room to grow for many years to come.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. That is certainly true here.
Thank you.
We need our village like never before. The people of Nanaimo and the Central Island and beyond to help make the new warehouse the addition to our family home we desperately need.
Very proud of this young enterprise, for the alliances made, for the friends made, and most importantly, for the differences made in people's lives. We want to continue to make this difference for the benefit of our entire community, and we need you to make it happen.
All right, great stuff there. Again, support Loaves and Fishes, and a big thank you to Ronan and the crew there for putting together that awesome video together. All right, moving on. We need some more music from Alexander Reyes right now. A little track here, Time to Grow Up. It's the show on Shaw TV. Take it away.
As a young man, like I said, I was 8 years old, and it takes time to grow. I'm just trying to grow up, right? I'm just trying to be a man, like. I'm just trying to grow up, right? I'm just trying to be a man, like. I'm just trying to grow up, right? I'm just trying to be a man. I'm just trying to grow up, right? New to the game, without a freshman flow. I be rapping since 8, already doing shows. 17, growing up, I'm growing fast. Never had money, so I make it last. Gramps in the hospital, losing all his hair. I pray for his health, got some feelings I can share. When mom and dad fight, I just go downstairs, turn my speakers on, acting like I don't care. At school, you know what those bullies do. Call names, keep walking, nothing else to do. After school, I'm in the studio, in the booth, taking turns, recording with the homie Q. Tight ties with my music, never cut it loose. I'm just trying to live life without these boring rules. Do my own thing, so they never asking hoes. Unless they asking hoes, then they talking about the crew. I'm just trying to grow up, right? I'm just trying to be a man, like. I'm just trying to grow up, right? I'm just trying to be a man, like. I'm just trying to grow up, right? I'm just trying to be a man, like. I'm just trying to grow up, right? I'm just trying to be a man, like. We're gonna wrap this one up for you, but I just want you to know, keep tight, keep smart.
Hey, and we are here for another magic moment right here on Shaw TV. Hey, we're gonna make this super quick. I have my buddy Matt here. Hey, Matt, how's it going?
Yeah, man. I was just snapping a photo.
Snapping a photo? Hey, you know what? That's fine. Come on back. You know, this is gonna be quick because on my way here, I stopped and grabbed a deck of cards.
Sorry.
He thought it was phone.
Wait, what the heck?
Take a look. I know. They came out blank. Not very, very good.
I've got a blank look on my face
yeah, I
right
can't
now,
really
yes.
go, hey, Matt, here, pick a card, any card. The card you picked is blank. Thank you very much. So we're going to have to do a little bit of magic with this. This is what we're going to do, Matt. I'm just going to snap my fingers. We take a little cut. Take a look. Looks like we have a card. That's
hey, what?
two of clubs. I know. That looks kind of weird. Take a look. That's a two of clubs, but it doesn't have a back. I know it's kind of weird. Here, do me a favor. Snap your fingers for me. And we're going to have a back. Take a look. Oh, no, here. Let's try that again. Snap your fingers. Okay, that's not working. Okay, snap it one more time. Oh, that's not good. Oh, there it is. You missed by like 52. So we have a back with no front, and we have a front with no back with all these blank cards in between. Now that looks like a real deck. Nobody knows about the blank cards in between here. Well, in actual fact, watch this. I'm going to snap my fingers, and if you take a good look, we do have a real deck of cards. I know, pretty cool. What? I know, bizarre. But here, we're going to take this. Not only on the front, by the way, Matt, we also have them printed on the back.
What?
I know, it's pretty cool. But like I said, I was in a bit of a predicament with my blank cards. I'm just going to take that, give it a little bit of a cut, and you'd almost swear that everything we just did was just a figment of our imagination. Wow. Crazy. He's speechless. That's perfect. That's it for your magic moment. I'm going to hand you over to Matt. See you later.
Not authorized speechless. Great stuff. Once again, big round of applause. Come on. Magic moment with Michael Behrens. Every week, this guy, yeah, I'm definitely drawing a blank. Thanks for that one. All right, so moving on from that, again, we're going to throw it to another video segment here and an interview. I mentioned off the top of the show, well, let's back it up a little bit. Some people say the universe isn't fair, but you know what? It's not a case of the universe being fair. Sometimes really horrible things happen to great people. But what people do with that, again, can be the triumph of the human spirit. Something tragic happens to you, to take that and turn it into positive energy, to something to help out individuals in the community, I think is one of the most amazing things a human's being to do. So for a campaign, for looking at a campaign on that, let's roll the video and take a look for Ryan.
Why are you guys on this march?
To show respect and show our love.
I think everyone's here. Where's my husband? Hand it out. You want
I pull one down, that's fine.
Okay, do you want one?
I think it's good for a community to come together and support the parents and keep awareness out there that, you know, nights where it's dark, you can't be seen, you should be wearing reflective clothing.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing this anniversary of such a horrible day, but out of that horrible day came this group of amazing people all together, and we can't thank you enough.
So Carol and Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
So good of you to join us and make some time here. Carol, I understand that last week marks the anniversary of a very tragic accident for you and your family. Your son Ryan was killed, he was longboarding home on a dark night, struck by a car and killed. Could you tell us a little bit about Ryan? What kind of a young man was he?
It's It's kind of hard to sum him up in 2 minutes, but I guess the main quality that I would describe Ryan as is a free spirit. He was, even as a toddler, really free, didn't like to be restricted, really adventuresome, kept himself amused. He was, as he grew up, his interests were so varied. He did mountain biking when he was probably early teens. Then he got into snowboarding. He got into the freestyle club up at Mount Washington. He liked cliff jumping. He loved his longboard. We had a lot of talks about safety, lots of talks. And he also had a real passion for music. In his life of 17 years, he did so much. He was in 2 bands. The first band he was in was called Stone Free with some high school chums, and they were together for about 2 years, did a whole bunch of performances down on the waterfront, down in Nanaimo, and then he got into another band that did original music with a couple other boys that all were from different schools. And his love of music was always growing. He wouldn't really snub his nose at much of anything except maybe country.
I understand he was loved and respected by his peers and all around him.
Yeah, he was a real people person. He was very passionate about his friendships. He loved the outdoors. He was gentle, and he was just unique. He was a unique spirit, and I had no doubt that he was going to go on to do amazing things, I think, with people, because he really cared for the underdog. He was always there for the underdog. He didn't buy into, the preppy clothing. But he was a teenager like many others, and when we lectured him about safety, he just always said to us, you know what, I got everything under control. Don't worry, I'm fine. And unfortunately, he wasn't. But we have 2 other beautiful children, so we're just want to keep his memory alive by doing what we're doing, and keeping him close to our hearts.
I understand that this cloud has a silver lining. That something really beautiful and wonderful has come out of this tragedy. And Jennifer, could you tell us a little bit about the Reflect for Ryan campaign that you started that, didn't you?
Yeah, with the Wallace Terriers as well. Reflect for Ryan campaign was started out of this tragedy. Ryan was skateboarding home. He was hit from behind. And we just really felt the need, felt the purpose to make something out of this terrible tragedy. And to help with that, we started this campaign called Reflect for Ryan. We want awareness and education for pedestrians and drivers alike. You know, there's so many things that we need to get out to the communities, especially rural. We don't have a lot of street lights. Our kids travel by skateboard, by bicycle, by foot. That's how they get around. We want everybody to get home safe. So that's kind of where the campaign is going. It's in its infancy. Really, honestly, we're just getting our started, and we just want to get out there and reflect.
If people want to get involved or to help with your campaign, how would they get in touch with you or your campaign?
Well, we have a Facebook page called Reflect for Ryan. And they can search that. It's open. It's a public one. They can private message us. We also have a website that's in its infancy as well. There's just some safety information on there, which is really great that people can print off. And it's www.reflectforryan.ca. And we have reflective bands we've been giving out. We've given out probably now over 2,500 reflective bands. We have clothing, as you can see, and toques are probably our next thing that we're going to go out.
That's wonderful, Jennifer. Listen, I really want to thank both you and Carol for coming on this show, and the hearts of all Nanaimo people. I'm sure your community see to go out to you and your family, Carol.
Yeah. And we just want everybody home safe. That's all. Yeah.
That's just about so. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
So now we're going to go to, in a not dissimilar vein, this lady who made her mark through singing and much more, Eleanor Collins.
are just watching a clip right now of Eleanor Collins, a Canadian jazz singer and television host who has actually made contributions to music, arts, and culture in our country for, if you can believe this, nearly 100 years. And someone who knows a lot about Eleanor, and who's actually met her before, is the host of Rhythm and Ing, a highly regarded jazz show on CHOI 101.7, Carolee McDowell. Carolee, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Matt. It's great to be here. Thanks.
Great to have you here as well. So tell our viewers, who is Eleanor Collins?
Eleanor Collins is an artist that began a CBC radio career in the 1930s. She was discovered by CBC Vancouver and got into television when television came into existence in 1954. Her first appearance was on Bambula, A Day in the West Indies, and it led to her own television show, her own national musical variety television show in 1955, and she was the first black artist to have a national television show in North America. And she's a wonderful artist. She's one of our greats. She's an immense talent. I've seen her perform at the age of 94, and she is just phenomenal. It's mind-staggering. She's the complete artist. She has style. She has charisma. She has incredible vocal delivery and phrasing. She phrases her vocals like she's just as masterful as Frank Sinatra or Billie Holiday. She is a truly fine and great Canadian artist.
And again, we were talking before we came on air here, maybe an artist a lot of Canadians don't know about. And so how did you learn about Eleanor Collins the first time?
Well, I first discovered Eleanor Collins, I used to play in a band. I'm a former jazz guitarist, and I played in a band called Mother of Pearl. They recorded Eleanor Collins in her 80s. But I didn't hear her early work until I was doing some research on an early jazz show that I was preparing for women in jazz. And I discovered a clip of Eleanor Collins online, and it was so phenomenal and mind-staggering. I just wanted to interview her, and I managed to track her down, and she agreed to an interview, which was wonderful. And I met her daughter, Judith Maxey, as well, and they've just been wonderful, truly amazing women, very wise, very clever. Eleanor is just an inspiration to me, and she did win, or she was invested in the Order of Canada on November 21st, 2014. So she is now officially a national treasure. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned again that the television show. So back on, I guess, on CBC back in the mid 50s.
Yeah. So the television show was called The Eleanor Show in 1955, and as I say, it was the first. Television show, national television show, hosted by a black artist. And she also broke down barriers for people of all different cultures within Canada, just by being a visible presence on television during that oppressive period of the 1950s, during the civil rights movement in America, and just that whole time period. Just her talent was so stupendous that she broke down those barriers because she was just such a phenomenal talent that it overcame some of that stigma and some of that prejudice, and helped change Canadian society, I would say.
Beautiful.
So yeah.
So there you go. So talented, a pioneer, groundbreaking. Amazing stuff. And again, so you've had a chance to interview before. How can people get more information sort of on her music or get access to any of the works or interviews you've done with her? Yeah, so I did an interview February 4th, 2013, and that's available on podcast at chly.ca. Scroll down to Rhythm and Ing, and look in the archives back to February. I will also be interviewing her very shortly, February 23rd, for a special show on Black History Month. It's music that Eleanor has chosen herself. It's very special. Co-creator Judith Maxey, her daughter, so input from the family, and Eleanor Collins, of course. And I'm really super excited about it. CBC Vancouver has allowed the use of some amazing music from the private, personal collection of Eleanor Collins, these amazing CBC productions that
are just stupendous, and I'm really excited about sharing them with the listening audience.
Perfect, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're out of town, but Carolee, thank you so much for being here. Not only really sharing the word of a great Canadian artist, but again, a great Canadian black female artist, again, running sort of the theme of the show today. So again, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much, Matt.
Awesome, great. And Carolee, check out Rhythm and Angle, CHOI 101.7 FM, great stuff. Definitely love talking jazz as a musician myself. So many great jazz artists out there. It's really hard to count basically all of them. It actually makes me quite dizzy, I tell you. So I may have to actually meditate like a monk until the next holiday to figure that out. Anyways, I've got a Brewbeck at the Ellington pub, which I tell you is miles away, and I'll have to catch the coal train to get there, which is Ella Fast. So anyways, this crew's not going to give me a mulligan on this one, so before I load up the Vaughn and take a road trip to Washington, I'm going to say thanks to our guests, hosts, volunteer staff in front of the cameras and behind the scenes. Thanks to Milano's for feeding our hungry crew, and hey, you can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Show on Shaw. Also find us on Twitter as well. Previous episodes of the show, find them on Facebook or on YouTube. Just search for the Shaw TV Central Vancouver Island YouTube page. And hey, if you've got a great idea for us here on the show, if you want to be featured and know somebody who should, just drop a line to our executive producer, Melissa Hall. Email address is melissa.hall@sjrb.ca. And all right, to finish off, of course, we've got to finish off one more song. My man Alexander Reyes, he's right there behind me, and he's going to play a little track called Get a Life. Thank you so much for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
My name is Alexander Reyes, and I want to thank you for tuning in to Shaw TV tonight. It's been a great experience, and I love sharing my story with you. This last story right here comes from a time when I was traveling in Vancouver. And sometimes you drift off into thought. Yeah. Sitting at the bus stop, waiting for the transit. 250 in my hand, then the bus driver grabs it. Walk to the back, take my seat, grab my iPod, find a song, press repeat. Then I end up falling asleep. Now I'm having these dreams about the better things. Move my mama out of house until I'm by the sea. Daydreaming about the possibilities. I could go from meeting KD to walking on green. Life is like a movie, she's another scene. I'm just trying to make it as a man, do it by any means. When they see me on TV, that's a sign. I plan on doing this till the day that I die. Small town called Cedars where I reside. Weekends with my friends getting into fights. For some reason I don't think that's right. Trying to change my life, another day on the mic. Dream chaser, speed racer. I ain't slowing down till nobody will face us. Most will try to hate us, tell them step. We can make it this song, but I won't react. Tell them, get a life. Don't hate on mine. Get a life. Don't hate on mine, I've been ups and downs, nobody around, never going down, suspended in my thoughts, in my mind, I'm the best, middle finger to the rest, lot of dirt on my chest, not to mention all the stress, can you relate, life is not a piece of cake, handed on a silver platter at a affordable race, instead, it's either make that bread or make your bed, yeah, rich or die trying, never lie, stay true to the, they're the only ones that truly understand, but from a teenager to becoming a man, don't need the blueprints to carry on with my plans. Good Lord, tell me what you mean to me. If you're really out there, can you save my life? I need surgery. Asking Jesus, please, get to know my Jesus peace, but he doesn't hear me.